Good morning. Today is Tuesday, September the 4th, 2018, and I'm going to do another living socially secure video. 8 days to go until I'm a legal claimant to get my Social Security retirement. I started working on the books full-time 48 years ago, and so what I do is I do these videos on how you can survive and thrive if you are lucky enough to get Social Security retirement, which is an earned benefit. Somebody once said, well, it wasn't meant to be secure, your retirement. Well, neither was the stock market meant to crash right when I was working for the big company. So what I'm doing is I really like olives, and I'm going to make a nice big omelet, and in it I'm going to put in some subsidized chicken, and that's shredded chicken meat with a little bit of Fiero sauce, Louisiana Crystal hot sauce. And when I do this and prepare this meal, I'm going to go ahead. In the background I've got some classical music from WRTI out of Philadelphia, and I'm going to go ahead and put the camera up, and I'm going to start off with a little bit of matzah and some blue bonnet, and that'll sustain me while I make my omelet. The omelet will be fairly substantial in size. It'll probably be 3 to 5 meals. As you can see, we have a lot of color here, and those are carrots and those are green beans. Those are fresh green beans that I sliced off the ends, and the carrots are fresh carrots. So the more fresh foods you can get into your diet, the better it is. And I tend to be somebody, I eat a decent amount of processed food because sometimes that's the affordable cost. That's what's most affordable. And here, I think what's missing for my little show. Okay, you see the burners there. You think what's missing is one of my pot holders. Yep, and that's what happened, and that just went up. And I want to go ahead, and I'm trying to do these so that these are personable videos, because you bring to your life your personality and your story. And my story is I've done a lot of food and beverage, and now I'm in a position where I'm in a new community about 9 months, or as I like to say, it started on the Groundhog Day, and that movie from Punxsutawney was all about every day is Groundhog Day. Every day you get to try it better. And how then will this camera not fall? I have some airbags below waiting. So, well, that's what I thought was going to happen, and that's why I had the airbags down there. The camera is still working. And when you video, you have to be prepared for things like that. I've lost quite a few cameras, and it seemed to be unsteady. It's the same video still going, and I'm going to try it again. I heard something from a Jerry Garcia song recently that I liked, which was, "Little boy lost, takes himself so seriously," and I see that when I move, it's the floor of the living unit I'm in that moved and caused that. So, rather exciting video. The camera drops, but it still works. And it worked because I spent the money on the protective case. So when it hit the ground, the protective case did its job. I don't know if you just heard that, but the advisory is in effect, and it's going to be somewhere about 104 degrees. So I'm cooking now because it's only going to get hotter. It's 9:21 Eastern. And when we lived down south, we had some great friends at Lieberman's, and they were caterers at the local temple. And they were sweet. They'd help my mom and dad. And they would feed us matzahs. And since my family comes from New York, didn't we all? Ellis Island. We were really neat. We really enjoyed eating the matzahs. It's a Lieberman's, yes. Lieberman's, Marty Lieberman. So my my breakfast snack is going to be a couple of these, and then once I have one, I'll have bread being broken. Then I can't eat because then I'm going to be handling the eggs. And as I do these videos, I don't know how bright this one is, but again, I'm trying to keep the unit cool, so I haven't lifted up all my drapes. But because I try to use professional food preparation techniques, you can't eat while you're cooking food. That's called hand-to-mouth germs. You'll get the food contaminated from the germs from your mouth. And when you're cooking eggs, at least. So I'm not going to be able to eat both these matzahs. Bless us, our Lord, for these thy gifts, which we're about to receive from thy bounty through Christ our Lord. Amen. This morning, Jesus, it's unleavened bread with some. That's what's working. It's young Goyim, Norfolk, Virginia. We used to love Passover, because that's when the Liedermans would give us a lot of matzahs. Something I never made that matzo ball soup. Yehuda matzahs. Right, the maidens in Jerusalem. The Passover 2018. This qualifies. Now you put the blood of the lamb on the door. And now you just ask your Passover. You shouldn't ever really cook when you're hungry. So, the matzahs here will fill my stomach so I can do the procedural meal I have, which is at a great price. I got some chicken breasts. And I had a DNA test done in '85 and found that I have Hebraic roots. I also have Moroccan roots and Kenyan roots and Irish roots. Hablo español muy mal para 45 años. Because I speak Spanish very poorly for 45 years. So, I studied Latin, fourth and fifth grade, in order to be an altar boy. Back then, the missile, the Roman missile, had English and Latin, so we were shown the English and Latin. And I took full-time Latin in 7th grade with Mrs. Clarendon, Golden Heights Junior High. I'm with Sister Catherine the Bunch, my hermana Caterina, the Ciudad Nueva Torque. She taught us, well, primero año en la escuela secundaria. La profesora Bucetic, she taught us Castilian and Spanish. And the next year, your hermana Caterina, la Ciudad Nueva Torque, the Bronx. She straightened us off from Castilian. And then I studied more Spanish with mi amiga Veronica Castro. Riba es campeona del mundo hispánico. Sabin Veronica Castro. Veronica Castro, I don't know if she's a related, but she had a beautiful show on at night with singing and dancing all in Spanish. They did repeats. I would fall asleep in Panerjo while I was studying college class, listening to Spanish. And then discovered in order to get A's in my Spanish in college level, I had to be tired, almost asleep, like that. Then I get the answer to the Spanish question. Because I learned Spanish on a world-class level from Carlisle Corvette Show Aug. Well, cooking is an experience. You start with the ingredients. I believe there's something called right side up. All the ingredients are laid out right side up. If you go into a storeroom in a restaurant and the boxes are not right side up, the dishwasher is going to get you empty sick. Los trabajadores de máquina, la verdad, the workers of the dishwasher, they don't read English, usually in the Northeast. The manager has to go to the store and turn everything right side up so that the dishwasher soap doesn't come out the bottom of the jug before they open it. Mi primero trabajo en la secundaria escuela de noche a un dishwasher. Initially, I was trying to eat some hippy-dippy artisan bread. I got up in the morning, my stomach was upset. Well, I made bread. I don't know why. And you eat bread produced in a kosher factory. You still eat the fancy crust. It's too hard for your stomach. Just unleavened bread. Great. So, before you cook, you have to wash your hands. I start the sink 30 seconds to a minute early. There's some hot water there with soap. I use blue bonnet. That's blue bonnet. One of the situations that happens in American comedy when you do YouTube videos, and I have 1,200 videos on YouTube, I lost count. But YouTube doesn't. When you do product placement, you can eventually get more keyword search. So, again, got my hands clean. And a lot of times, I'll give some food away because it's better to share it before it goes bad. So I have to make sure that, I stick to my profession, which is food service and hospitality. So I make sure that my food is prepared under sanitary conditions. In this video, I don't know how long it's going to go. I like to keep my napkins right there, so I just have to open it up. Dry my hands off. Now I'm going to make a 6-egg omelet on a gas oven. So I'm going to get the ingredients out of the way, the egg flow. The chicken up here, the vegetables, the carrots, and actually looking at this, I'm going to chop some of these carrots down well. It'll be okay for the green beans, I don't chop them down, because they're very easy to masticate. No, that's not what you think it is. Masticate is using your teeth, not to your pig. And I like my food selections so that the ingredients are fairly the same size, so they cook the same. And if you have an ingredient that's not the same size, that has a purpose too. Like the green beans will carry the flavoring from the vegetable oil and the blue bonnet. And what I really like is, and that might be a salt need of mine, and I need a lot of salt to avoid cramps. What I really like is the stuffed manzanilla. Gee. I gotta research what manzanilla means. So ask mi amiga. Mi amiga insisted I won't say her name on public. But there's a name in lingua española for your number one person who helps you, who's female in the office and in life. You didn't know strange connotations there. It's strictly a professional connotation. But I didn't say the name. Everybody deserves privacy. So now, what I learned recently is I need to grease my pan more such than let it sit there. If I grease it, and this is tough to do. I don't want to use my fingers on camera. Okay, so it's going to start off. Okay. But you have to have the eggs ready to go. So, if the price is shortening, about $1 per pound. I don't want to waste any, and then I want it to be a really good ingredient. So, it looks like I'm going to be able to save some of the shortening. Okay. I'm not turning the oven on until the eggs are mixed up. More so than the cook is mixed up. Open your containers so you don't touch anything once you handle the eggs. And once I break the eggs here, I'll move the eggs closer to this. I'll pour the eggs in, and then I have to get the spatula. So, it's essential when you do food prep, and I'm going to be hopefully teaching some people how to do food prep soon, that you think this all through. Because if you did it every day, you'd have it memorized. So again, I'm going to get the chicken open. And the chicken is going to be awesome. It's going to be a lot of protein. It smells great too. It's like, it smells like chicken. So we're going to have chicken. And I think I'm just going to portion control this all out. Cooking is about, it's about life. So one of my sisters gave me this wonderful cooking stuff, a very colorful plate, and I've used it a couple times already to provide public food. The chicken's out. If you add too many ingredients, you're making junk. Well, I'd like to put the orange in there, and I won't. But what I want is chicken, green beans, and the carrots. So I'm making, and you curve your fingers in so you don't slice as many fingers, and I slice my fingers a lot. And I always tell people, don't be using alcohol when you cook, except if you pour it in the pan. A lot of people cook having fun, a glass of wine, I'm going to cook. Yeah, you're going to be in the emergency room. I went to the emergency room last week for my back sprain. In my old sport utility vehicle, the doctor told me, he said, even old sport utility vehicles have to go slower. I hurt my back getting on my bicycle in a sensitive area, and I didn't slow down, and I kept cycling and swimming. And I would just mount the bike more carefully. And then one day I was locking the bike last week to the crazy bike locks that they have now. Circular street sculpture, street art. Totally old-fashioned bike ride. And I popped my lower left back muscle out. So I had to go do my Amira Healthcare. Thank you, Mr. Barak. And again, you go from one food type to the other as often as you can. You want to rinse. See, it's not a perfect world, but still I haven't touched the eggs. See, I want to get everything ready before I get into the military term. So all of this is going to go in 6-egg omelet. And you don't put all the ingredients in at a time. You have to put in a little carrots, a little green beans, a little with the chicken. The idea is that this is going to be such a large omelet that it'll be at least 3 meals. Okay, let's be totally cognizant in. You want some sliced olives. And you want to have a nice sweet meal. Be Mediterranean. Slice some olives. Where's the top of the olives at? So I want to get all this food put away. I keep spare tops here somewhere. I want to get all the ingredients staggered, staged, as you can see. Here it is. In fact, I'm just going to put them away so that where they're stored is not contaminated. When I'm done, getting the green beans, I'm done with the chicken, I'm done with the olives, and if you ever work in a professional kitchen, in the line, they have all the ingredients there. It's pop, 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 pop. Never bother the cook when his head is down. He's looking at tickets, he's looking at his ingredients. So I'm not quite done. And again, this is going to be an unusual video because I let the camera drop and didn't start it over. Because that's what the world is like. They dropped the camera a couple times. But once I puff up the omelet, ooh, that's a milk in the omelet. I usually put water, but recently I was told I had to add more dietary items to my diet. That's not a conundrum. 9:39, so for 20 minutes I've been preparing. And on this channel called Tom's Eat, Cruise Joad, more will be explained later, I do living social security videos about cooking. And I've been doing this for about 8 months. And then I'm doing what's called a build out. The channel itself does not yet have a lot of descriptive copy. But when I go to work on a computer in a couple of weeks, I'll be putting in the descriptions and the temperatures of what you do. Alright, so now, I flip her over. The ingredients. Pepper for now. Get these out of the way. Okay. I should throw this bread away. Yeah, that bread just gives me a heartache. If something gives you a heartache, throw it away. Except if it's your first 2 eggs. You keep them 3 eggs if you want. 6 eggs. Okay. Utensils out of the way. Ingredients out of the way. And you don't want to break these in the pan because the pan will be hot. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is break them in a mixing bowl. I live in a country village. I live in a sweet little country village. Almost everything are ranch houses, so like I had one sweet little girl soup. Sunday we're going to have a house with 2 stories, and that old. She already knows other people have houses with 2 stories, and she wants one. So, you give yourself a carnet if you have a 6-egg omelet. And these eggs are just in the refrigerator a little bit. They're not going to last much longer. I'll hold this stuff tight. And then you break the eggs. Just you know how to mix them. Mixing is, trades. One is cement mixture, epoxy mixture, slurries, and food factories, and one is food products. The other one is mixing in the food factory. And you have to whip stuff up to get it out of it. So I'm whipping this up because I want to put in some milk in here. Get some distance out of this, and that means kind of expand it. Because it's going to coat the bottom of the pan, it's going to rise up. And this is Swiss Premium. See, there's my speech defect I'm talking to the doctor about. Swiss Dairy Pure. Dean Foods, Dallas, Texas. Well, you know it's good if it comes from Dallas, man. So, you don't just pour it in. You mix it in. You're right about there, a dollop and a dollop. Okay? Now, the two different temperatures. The milk is cold. So what you're doing is you're heating up the ingredients by moving them in a circle and stirring them. And I don't care what people think about Teflon, non-Teflon. I'm 62 in a couple of years. I ain't been around for Teflon fueling. But I'll be around and I gotta wash my pots and pans all the time, so I like Teflon. I like the white bread. I like beer, mama, motorboats, country music. I like my president, whoever it is. Pray for your president. Because they always need prayers. Alright, now the ingredients are ready. Okay. Very colorful meal. I don't know how much of that's going to show up on camera. Okay. We have white, we have olives, we have carrots. And how then do you get this to go in? So this bad boy's going to be big. Place over here so that I don't drip the egg mix. And then after I get it mixed it, check that I got the correct burner. Cover it for a moment. You know, it's going to be an egg dish with a lot of ingredients. Alright, there we go. Stop tootling up. My mother would say, Eddie, would you tool up this store and get us some milk? Because we did not get our milk delivered. Colonial Heights, they used to deliver the milk, and I made my living delivering newspapers in 6th and 7th grade. And we bartered, we traded off Jake the milk guy and the old guy from Quality, two different dairies, going around doing their milk delivery in a nice suburban neighborhood that was growing. And I would people would move in and I'm checking out their teenage daughters because I was a teenager. And Jake, he was Greenleaf Dairy. He had a nice trucks, and Quality Dairy came in the afternoon. What dairy does in the afternoon, I don't know. But, so what we did is, we struck a deal. Jake would give me a quart of chocolate milk a day, straight from the dairy, man, right out of those brown cows. I put it on high to get the pan hot. And on the rainy days, Jake would let me use the passenger side of the milk truck for my newspapers. And we'd roll up somewhere and I'd deliver 3 or 4 quarts of milk to a milk box, which was what sat outside your house before it was a hippy-dippy decoration. And I'd drop off some newspapers. And that was barter and commerce. And that's before the days of weirdness. Your parents didn't think Jake was weird. Nobody was going to touch anybody. You know, and I learned hustling. I learned how to get those newspapers on the porch dry. Because I would do one side of the street, and Jake would do the other. And Jake and I would both get to work finished early. And then the Quality Dairy guy must have found out, they must have been union from Jake, the Malone brothers were available. because this quality dairy guy did his stuff in the afternoon. So my papers were already delivered, but he'd give me $5 a shift. And I'd be the runner. Fancy little funny looking milk trucks that they were. And what that was is, he would go, you know, he'd do one half a street, he'd do the other. So for $5, this old guy had somebody help do his work. And I learned how to make $5. You do that 4 days a week. Profit add to my newspaper. Now I'm gonna turn it up because now I wanted to kind of, I'm gonna call omeletize it, and I'm not a chef. I've done everything but been doctor, lawyer, and chef. I've been a bartender, shoe shiner, food processor, truck driver. I didn't weld, I wasn't an electrician, I shouldn't say everything. Non-skilled trades I did. So, you can't put the ingredients in until you've got your eggs fairly cooked. So we'll put the heat on them, okay? Then I'll put the ingredients, and I might have too much ingredients in. You know, better you make that decision before you throw it all in and ruin your meal. Maybe this has to be for tomorrow's omelet or whatever. So usually gas oven is great because you start to heat up right away. Excuse me. Handle burner. That's Pennsylvania Dutch when you can't figure out what you're going to say. You come up with the word. Not quite. Okay, now enough of the egg has been cooked. We'll flop it over, get a little brown, which is fine. I'm going to set it so that I can put the ingredients in the middle and then cover it. And then I'm going to go low. Put it up rock and Michelle said. And there you go low, you go high. Hey Barry, ready how we rolling? We can get high here, Barry. No, that's just a joke. And you know, he's not the president anymore, it doesn't matter. Pray for the president. Always pray for your president. So, this is what it looks like, and I'm going to bring it up a little. Put some light on it. This is what it looks like, okay? And when I'm done, I'm going to turn those eggs over the top and then cover it. And I have not done any hands to mouth in this video. I'm just going to pick up an olive and go, oh, that tastes good. But as a food professional, I can't. So now it's on high, it's gas, okay? You move the ingredients to the middle, flop that stuff over, okay? Come around the edges, tuck it in well, scrape off some of the burnt stuff. Turn the gas off for a moment, because I didn't put a whole lot of margarine in there. Jimmy Kimmel's got a center. So while this sits here, let me tell you about how they used to speak around here in Kutztown in the 1980s. Back then, Kutztown in the center of the Lancaster Valley, in the Berks County Valley, you had these people called the Dutchies, and they were not Germans, they were the Pennsylvania Dutchies. And the Dutchies were different than the PA Dutch in the mountains. So the Dutchies spoke up and down like this, and once the car broke down and we didn't have the battery charger, and we got in the car, these people picked us up, and my bride, she says, well, you know, it's so cold out, we didn't think any of the Dutchies were going to pick us up. And the lady goes, oh, well, you know, we are Dutchy, and we are here to help you. And so Dutchy was opening it down up, and you should have closed the door, and the old Pennsylvania joke was, throw Mama down her shoes. No, you don't throw Mama down, you throw down the shoes to Mama. But in that part of Pennsylvania at the time, there was still 3 languages related to the Pennsylvania Deutsch, the Germans. The Dutch was the middle language. The Low German, which the Dutchies could speak at home, the Amish, the Mennonites, the plain people. we'd be in Beck Hall, Mary and I, waking up in the morning on the weekend, and all the kids had gone home, and we'd be there. You'd hear this. It was the Amish and the Mennonites coming through the town to go to church, the click club. And so there was Dutchy, which was the local vernacular. There was Low German. And one day up in New Tripoli near Heidelberg, I went into a hardware store to get something with my future bride out in the little beetle bug, super bugny methyl. And I heard it. Xanadu, High German. A rich old tall Pennsylvania German farmer talking to the merchant. And they'd probably known each other since they went to school back in the cabins in the hills. And he was speaking High German. So one of the things that I think we miss here in Pennsylvania, and this happened back in just around the time of the First World War, where the Pennsylvania German rebranded themselves as Pennsylvania Dutch. It's a derivation of the word Deutsch. We got no tulips here. We're not from the Netherlands. Pardon me. It's Pennsylvania Deutsch. They're Germans. They're engineers. And after they decided Hitler was a bad guy, a lot of the intelligence officers of the Germans were in a prison down here, Camp Mishawat. And they turned on Hitler and provided information to the United States government. And then at the end of the war, these guys were like, we're at home. And they intermarried in the southern part of the Cumberland Valley, down by Pine Grove Furnace. And so a lot of the German officers stayed in the valley, and they kind of, they hid all the little Nazi medals away. And you never know when you're in a hardware store and somebody's speaking High German if they didn't learn it over there. But that's kind of the story living here in the Great Valley. And maybe you caught the steam there. And this pan will be fun to clean, but this meal will be more fun. And I like to spice it up, so I put this stuff in it. Everything I do. Whether I learned that from my amigos de mundo hispanico. The food is hot. Oh, tastes good. So now, that's 16 minutes that I cooked that, and I have ingredients left over. There's no harm, no foul. The proportion was not going to be there. I'm going to give it one last shot of gas. Burn it up there. And then I'm going to put it on a plate and we'll see what it looks like. So the 6 eggs came in about 70 cents. The ingredients were no more than like 7 cents. So under 90 cents, I've got a breakfast that if you went to the nearby diner, they charge you $14. You got to stay home and listen to classical music. Gotta see your brotherly love. Smells great. Ashkenazi. That's famous work by Chopin. It's member supported WRTI 90.1. Oven's off. Now I'm going to close it on the meal and show what it looks like, and then I'm going to cover it and let it continue to cook for a moment. So this is my 10 o'clock meal. Okay, very colorful. Some of the colors, the hot sauce. But you can see there's olives with pimentos. There's green beans. There's carrots. And this is the kind of meal, and this is a 40-minute video. This is the kind of meal that you want to eat, and I'd be stupid if I ate that whole thing. So I'll eat probably a third of it, maybe half of it, and I'll portion control it up. And so then Well, if it cost me 90 cents to make, it's 45 cents for breakfast and 45 cents for tomorrow morning's breakfast. Tom Z, Cruise Joad, more will be explained later. Living socially secure here in Middlesex Township, Cumberland County, Pennsylvania. Tuesday, September the 4th. Peace and love.